Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to Life and Faith with Primrose. I am so grateful that you are here. Today, I want us to talk about forgiveness. Forgiveness can be one of the most difficult things we are asked to consider because it touches real memories, real hurt, and real disappointment. Maybe someone said something that changed the way you saw yourself. Maybe somebody broke your trust. Maybe you were treated unfairly. Maybe you are carrying anger toward a person, toward a situation, or even toward yourself. Before we go any further, I want to say this clearly. Forgiveness does not mean what happened was okay. Forgiveness does not mean you must pretend you were not hurt. It does not mean you must stay in an unsafe situation. It does not mean you must allow someone to keep hurting you. It does not mean that you must forget or that consequences no longer matter. Forgiveness is not the same as approval. Forgiveness is not the same as trust. Forgiveness is not the same as reconciliation. Sometimes reconciliation is possible, but it requires honesty, change, safety, and willingness from both people. Sometimes the healthiest choice is distance, a firm boundary, or getting support. So what is forgiveness? Forgiveness is the decision to stop letting bitterness become the ruler of your heart. It is a process of releasing the desire to carry the wound every day. It is saying, what happened mattered. My pain is real, but I do not want this pain to control the rest of my life. Sometimes we think holding on to anger keeps us strong. We think, if I forgive, then they win. But carrying bitterness can become like holding a hot coal in our hands. We want somebody else to feel the pain, but we are the ones being burned. Forgiveness is not giving another person power over you. In many ways, it is taking your own peace back. There may be a person in your life who has apologized and changed. There may be someone who has never apologized. There may be someone you cannot speak to anymore. There may be someone who does not even understand how much their actions affected you. Forgiveness can still be a path you walk, not for their comfort, but for your healing and freedom. And please be patient with yourself. Forgiveness is often not one big moment. It may be a choice you make many times. You may wake up one day feeling peaceful, and then a memory comes back and you feel angry again. That does not mean you have failed. It means you are human. You can bring the hurt to God again and say, help me to release this again. Sometimes the person we need to forgive is ourselves. You may be carrying regret about a decision. You may be replaying a conversation, a mistake, a relationship, an opportunity you missed, or a time when you did not know what you did now. You may be saying, I should have done better. I should have seen it. I ruined everything. Taking responsibility is important. If you need to apologize, apologize. If you need to repair something, do what you can. If you need to learn, learn. But after you have taken responsibility, you do not have to live in punishment forever. You made a decision with the understanding, strength, and support you had at that time. You can learn from the past without leaving change to the past. Grace says you can begin again. There are 4 gentle steps I want to share today. The first step is to tell the truth about the hurt. You cannot heal a wound you refuse to name. You do not have to make it dramatic, but you do need to be honest. What happened? How did it affect you? What did you lose? What are you still carrying? You can say, I was hurt when this happened. I felt abandoned. I felt disrespected. I felt afraid. I felt betrayed. I am still grieving what I thought this relationship would be. God can handle your honesty. You do not need to rush into forgiveness before you have allowed yourself to feel the truth of the pain. The second step is to release the right to revenge. Revenge is not always loud. Sometimes revenge is wishing someone would suffer exactly as we suffered. Sometimes it is replaying arguments in our mind and imagining what we should have said. Sometimes it is using silence to punish. Sometimes it is trying to make someone feel guilty forever. Releasing revenge does not mean refusing justice. If there has been harm, abuse,
crime or serious wrong, there may be a need for proper reporting, legal protection, medical support, counseling, or intervention. Seeking safety and justice can be wise and necessary. But personally, we can release the burden of becoming the judge of someone else's whole life. We can place the final outcome in God's hands. We can say, God, I do not want this person's actions to turn me into someone I do not recognize. Help me to choose peace and wisdom. The third step is to choose a boundary. Forgiveness without a boundary can sometimes become permission for repeated harm. A boundary is a loving limit that protects your peace, your safety, and your dignity. A boundary might sound like, I am willing to speak, but I will not continue this conversation if you insult me. It might sound like, I care about you, but I cannot lend money right now. It might sound like, I need some time before we talk again. It might sound like, I will only discuss this with support present. A boundary is not rude. It is not unforgiving. It is a way of saying, I am choosing a healthier way forward.
The fourth step is to choose what you want your life to grow into. When we have been hurt, it is easy to build our whole identity around the wound. We become the person who was betrayed, rejected, disappointed, or abandoned. But you are more than what happened to you. You are still someone who can grow, learn, love wisely, serve, create, laugh, rest, and hope again. Your story includes the pain, but the pain does not have to be the final chapter. Ask yourself, what kind of person do I want to become on the other side of this hurt? Do I want to become wiser, more compassionate, more truthful, more peaceful, more discerning, more connected to God? Forgiveness makes room for your future self to breathe. Let us think about how this works in a real situation. Maybe someone hurt you with their words. You may not be able to change what they said, but you can name the hurt. You can decide not to replay their words as if they are the final truth about you. You can set a boundary around future conversations. You can speak to a trusted person. You can choose truth over shame. Maybe you are hurt by someone you love. You may wish they would understand immediately, but sometimes people do not understand. You can still be honest about what you need. You can still choose whether the relationship is safe enough to continue closely. You can still care about someone without allowing them to control your peace. Maybe you are angry with yourself. You may have made a choice that brought pain. You can acknowledge it. You can ask for forgiveness where needed. You can learn. You can make a new choice today. The past cannot be rewritten, but the next chapter can be written differently. If you find that memories of harm are overwhelming, that you feel unsafe, or that you are struggling to cope, please reach out for appropriate support. A qualified counselor, therapist, doctor, trusted faith leader, or support service can help you process what happened safely. Forgiveness is never meant to pressure you into silence or danger. Now I want to guide you through a forgiveness reflection. If you can, take out a notebook or open the Notes app on your phone. You do not need to name the person out loud. You can simply hold the situation gently before God. First, write, "What happened mattered." Then write one sentence about the hurt you are carrying. Next, write, "My pain is real, but I do not want it to control my future." Then ask yourself, what do I need in order to move forward safely? Perhaps you need a boundary. Perhaps you need support. Perhaps you need time. Perhaps you need to forgive yourself. Perhaps you need to speak honestly. Perhaps you need distance. Write one healthy next step. Now, if it feels right, you can pray. God, I give you this hurt. I release the burden of carrying revenge. Give me wisdom, safety, and peace. Help me to become who you are calling me to be. Take a few quiet minutes with that prayer. You do not have to rush. You do not have to force a feeling. Let forgiveness be a door you open gently, one day at a time. After the quiet reflection, I want to give you a 7-day freedom practice. On day 1, name the hurt honestly. No pretending, no judgment. On day 2, identify what you need for safety and peace. It may be support, time, distance, a conversation, or a boundary. On day 3, write a letter you do not have to send. Say what you need to say honestly and safely. On day 4, write one thing you are ready to release. It may be the need to replay the story, the need to punish yourself, or the need to control someone else's response. On day 5, choose one boundary that protects your peace. On day 6, do one kind thing for yourself. Rest, walk, cook, pray, speak to someone safe, or do something that reminds you that your life is still yours. On day 7, write one hope for your future. Who do you want to become as you heal? Before we finish, I want to pray for you. Father,
I pray for every person who is carrying hurt today. You know the memories they have not spoken about. You know the anger, disappointment, grief, and regret they may be carrying quietly. Please bring comfort where there has been pain. Bring safety where there has been fear. Bring wisdom where there has been confusion. Help each person tell the truth about what happened without becoming trapped in the pain. Give them courage to set healthy boundaries. Give them grace to forgive themselves. Give them the right people to walk beside them. And help them release what is too heavy to carry alone. Let healing come gently and honestly. Let peace grow. Let hope return. And let every listener remember that they are more than what happened to them. Amen. Thank you for spending this time with me on Life and Faith with Primerose. If this episode encouraged you, share it with someone who may need a reminder that forgiveness can be a path to freedom, wisdom, and peace. Remember this: forgiveness is not approval, forgetting, or losing yourself. It is choosing not to let pain control the rest of your story. Until next time, take care of yourself, keep the faith, and remember, life does not have to be hard. We are in this together, one day at a time.